back at it again, and I wanted to bring this video to you guys because I think it's hilarious, and I think it says a lot about the place that we are in this country at this point in time, as it pertains to the election and the BS going on surrounding it. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Okay, we are sick and tired of this BS, and a couple people found out the hard way. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And I think Krispy Kreme Christie has something to say too. Let's dive in.
Yeah. Well, now it feels like home. Thank you all very much.
Booing them.
Let me first thank the chairman and everyone here. Yep. Look. What a shock. You're for Trump. I'm going to fall over dead. Now look. Every one of those boos, every one of those catcalls, every one of those yells will not keep it. Yes, sure. Will not solve one problem we face in this country. Will not solve, and will not make this country better.
Oh yeah, it will, because it keeps you out of office. It keeps people like you out of office. So yes, it will make this country better. And hear me out, guys, because I know there's probably a portion of you that are saying to yourselves, well, this is pretty rude, booing the guy, you know, that's a bit disrespectful, yada, yada, yada. You know, you shouldn't be booing him. We're above this. We should be respectful. Hey, listen, I hear you. But at a certain point of time, people grow tired of being nice. When you've been stepped on and pushed aside and accused of being a terrorist threat and dangerous to society, you know, an extremist, when you've watched the other side march around and burn buildings and loot and pillage and riot outside of the White House, but yet you're still called an extremist. And then you sit and you tell these folks, we want this guy. And yet they still keep pushing somebody else in front of your face. And yet you told them nicely multiple times on multiple occasions, this is the guy we want. And the polls bear it out as well. You told them this is the guy we want. It's not you, it's this other guy. And yet they still keep pushing these other people out in front of your face like, no, you peasant, take Christie, take DeSantis, take Nikki Haley, take Asa Hutchinson. Here, take these guys. You can't have that guy. And yet you continue to say, no, I want that guy. That's who I want. You say we live in a democracy. This is the guy we want. You can't pick and choose when you want to say it's a democracy. Because, you know, that's the thing that they always say. Democracy. But when the people say that they want something else, and it's coming from the Democrat side too. Look what they've done to their voters. Their voters have told them, we don't want Joe. And yet they said, oh, well, you don't get a choice in that. But we still live in a democracy, though. And Trump is a threat to democracy. Sounds like BS to me. Sounds like the Democrats are a threat to the establishment is a threat to democracy, because I feel like the Republican establishment is trying to do the same thing. Get rid of Trump, but they're trying to do it the opposite way. Throw Trump to the side and push out somebody else in front of us. We've told them nicely. And people are tired of being nice. So this is the results you get.
Your anger against the truth is reprehensible. When you think about the problems that our country and this world is facing, when you think about that, this type of pettiness is beneath the process of electing a president. Yeah. And as people watch today, if your arguments are so strong if your arguments are so great and mine are so bad, then just keep quiet. Let me make my awful arguments, and then you can just reject them out of hand. But the problem is you fear the truth.
The problem is we've heard your arguments and we told you we don't want them, and yet you still keep trying to get out in front of us and push your arguments. We listened to them already. We heard them. And we told you no. And you won't accept it. That is the problem. It's not that we don't want to hear the truth, whatever that means. Right? Whatever that means. But here's some truth for you, Mr. Chris Christie. I won't even say your nickname. The truth is that we don't want you. Step aside. Kick rocks. You've made your argument. We don't want to hear it anymore. We're done. You're done. Step aside. Move along. Move along. Can we make that any clearer? Right? I mean, you can look at the polls. You go out on the street and talk to folks. When you go out into places to speak with folks, you get the same message. We don't want you. Sorry.
The problem is you want to shout down any voice that says anything different than what you want to hear.
When Christie, sir, I'm sorry, he is not a fat pig, okay? This man, he said, he is not a fat pig. No, it's true. And you can't use the term fat. You're allowed to use the word pig, but not fat. No, the man just said, he's a fat pig. And I said, no, he's not a fat pig. So now the press can't kill me because all I'm doing is responding. I'm responding. He is not a fat pig.
Oh, man. Trump's still hilarious, man. Still hilarious. But also you have this clip here.
As someone who's been in the courtroom for over 25 years as a federal prosecutor, and also in defending some of the most serious federal criminal cases, I can say that there is a significant likelihood that Donald Trump will be found guilty by a jury on a felony offense next year. That may or may not happen before you vote in March. And it might not make any difference to you, but it will make a difference for our chances to attract independent voters in November. It will make a difference for those down ticket races for Congress and Senate, and it will weaken the GOP for decades to come. As a party, we must support the rule of law. We cannot win as a country without integrity in the White House. And while some will ignore the destructive behavior of the former president, I assure you we ignore it at our own peril. The next generation will not look favorably back on this time.
So let's address that there. He said it's not going to be good on a national stage when he's convicted. Now, I've already talked about this, but I'll touch on it again. Most people know that this is BS, and I always go back to the clip that I showed you guys of the Democrat lady who was talking about all of these indictments and said that this is basically BS. It's BS. And instead of voting Democrat like she always has, she's voting Republican because of it all. I feel like a lot of people feel that exact same way. And a lot of people understand that these indictments have come out of Democrat-run places. So who's going to be the jury pool? Mainly Democrats. So we all know what's going to happen when you have Trump, right, standing up there being judged by jurors who are all Democrats. We know how that's going to go. We are not idiots. We could see this from 1,000 miles away. We've got eagle vision when it comes to that. Okay, we see the playbook, and this is it. Trump's going to get convicted on something at some point in time, in one of them, if not a couple of them, right? And then he's going to take it to the Supreme Court. And we know what's going to happen there. It's going to get thrown out because the Supreme Court knows it's BS. And most of this country knows it's all BS. So why would we even care about any type of conviction? People haven't cared about any of these indictments. His poll numbers have only gone up since the indictments. If you guys remember, he was polling behind DeSantis at one point. And then they started slapping him with indictments. And he's just done this the whole time. The whole time. Just up and up and up and up and up. Okay? So a conviction isn't going to change that, in my humble opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe it's going to change anything because we all know what's going to happen. Okay? They're not going to throw him in jail. At worst, he'll be on house arrest for something. He'll take it to the Supreme Court. And by the time the Supreme Court rules, he would have already won the presidency. So it ain't going to matter anyway. But Supreme Court is going to strike it down. He'll be free again. He'll move into the White House just like he was supposed to. And we'll all get on with it. Okay? And no, it won't hurt the GOP. It will strengthen the GOP because then it will reinforce the movement that's already happened. It will reinforce the Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boeberts, Byron Donalds, the Jim Jordans, even the Mike Johnsons of the world, who's now the Speaker of the House, who is MAGA. It will embolden that movement. It will push out the establishment so that we don't have this crap going on, so that we do have people like Senator Hawley, who's pushing for the lobbyist dollars being pulled out of politics, so that congressmen and people that we elect actually work for us and not big donors. So how does that hurt the GOP? Explain that one to me. Explain that. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. So that's all a load of crap. It's all a load of crap. And honestly, we've done the same thing to DeSantis too. We've done the exact same thing. I've showed you guys clips like this.
Well, first of all, welcome back to the State Fair. Ron, it's great to have you here, so welcome back.
No, it's great to be here. We're really excited to see everybody. We appreciate how nice everybody is. Great to be in the Midwest. I tell people, normally when I want to do Midwestern nice, I just go to Fort Myers in January, and I have half the Midwest there. But we love everybody that comes down to Florida, but particularly Southwest Florida from Iowa and other parts.
Thank you. Well, listen, good friend, former colleague, governor from Florida, and so I appreciate that and appreciate the friendly competition. So Ron's out there doing the 99 county tour.
The whole time he was up there on stage, we want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump. And he's no stranger to this treatment either. There he is right there.
Trump.
So I don't understand. Well, I do understand what these guys are hoping for. The Asa Hutchinsons and the Chris Christies and the Ron DeSantises of the world and the Nikki Haley's and all of those that haven't dropped out yet, even though they're behind by 40 and 50 points. Let's be real here. You got no shot. Zero shot. They're hoping for a Trump conviction and him being barred from running for president because he's taken off the ballot because of it. That's what they're hoping for. And that's not somebody we want. Because as you heard Asa Hutchinson say, we have to support the rule of law. So that means we have to go with anything and everything that they say, even though that we know it's BS. That ain't the type of guy or gal that I would want sitting in the White House. Absolutely not. And at this point in time, I feel like everybody that's still in the race is that type of person. Because I have yet to hear them stand up and say, oh yeah, this persecution against Donald Trump is BS. Vivek, maybe. I think he might be the only one that said something even close to it. Okay? Everybody else, kick rocks. And even Vivek is questionable. I showed you guys that clip of him repeating everything that Barack Obama had once said. That's just weird to me. So, the jury's still out on Vivek. But, yeah, we're done. They're done. It's Trump v. Biden. That's going to be it. And they need to get on board with it. You know, and it sucks because I think Ron DeSantis was so promising. He was so promising. He's done a great job in Florida. All he had to do was just sit back and chill. Keep doing your thing in Florida. Sit back and chill. He literally could have just walked into it in 2028. After Trump was done, he could have just walked into it. Just sleptwalk his way into the 2028 presidency. But I think that he has some people around him that don't have his best interest and are, in my opinion, self-sabotaging his entire political career. Because there was one point in time where DeSantis was on top of the world, and now he's cratering. He's cratered since the very start of, there's a gnat in here, world. He's cratered since the very start of, his run, his announcement. He's been a sinking ship since the very start. And I think that's in part due to the people he has around him, which also says he's probably not the guy that I want, especially since he hasn't fired those guys as of yet. Everybody's saying, yo, Ron, things are going terrible. Things are going terrible, but hey, who am I? I don't know. Just the guy who makes videos from time to time. Don't mind me. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.